Good day, everyone. My name is Max, and welcome back to ATS, American Truck Simulator, Cruising, Iowa. Well, this time, first of all, I forgot to set the proper thumbnail. Lovely, eh? Well, it ain't that easy. Anyway, last time we've traveled to 4 cities in Iowa, and this time we will continue our journey, seeing the different sites and the extremely flat land of Iowa. At least it's green. Well, so let's export this thumbnail real quick. And get it into YouTube. Yes. Customization, change, and ta-da! Lovely. Anyway, yeah, this is again an ad hoc stream, really. Come to the stream as always. Let's leave a nice message in here. Yeah, anyway, Iowa. And let's, of course, share the link on Discord, because social media is key viewership, apparently, in today's day and age. Well, and the stream thumbnail hasn't changed. Lovely. Anyway. Well, what a cocker for a start, eh? Anyway, let's finally get into the game, really. There's a bit disorganized start here, but anyway. Last time, I've actually complained a bit about digital dashboards and stuff like that. Thankfully, there are also a couple other trucks added that don't necessarily have a digital dashboard. Let's see, truck dealers. Let's change the truck once more. We're gonna go to the Kenworth dealership and we visit the selected dealer this time. Yes. We visit the selected dealer in Cedar Rapids, which, hello Yellow Dude, welcome to the stream. Yeah, what's up? What are you doing? Yeah, this is the, I think this is the lorry? Yes, the 100th anniversary edition of the Kenworth W900. That's what I wanted to get. Let's say maybe, I don't know why I don't like these hubcaps. I'm always changing them to exclusive, yes. But other than that, oh, there are quite some nice additions. Yeah, I think that's the tuning DLC, isn't it? Never used it. Now I'm using it. Of course. Oh, painted grills. Not gonna lie, that looks fleek. Just playing Asphalt Legends Unite. Yeah, I'm still playing that game. Never played it actually. It's a free-to-play title. Alternatives are available. But yeah, it has many prototypes and concept cars. That's what I think it's notable for most. Oh, there are some nice bonnet figures, like an eagle or a longhorn or a mad duck. Huh. A swan. Unfortunately, not a big longhorn, just a tiny little one. Chrome top. What the heck? What is that? Look, a tiny little spoiler. Oh, what is? What the heck? That's interesting, to say the least. We have one of these. Yeah, I like these actually. I like these glass deflectors. But let's go with a painted one, shall we? Let's go with all paint config. Yeah. A mean looking Kenworth. I hate LED headlights. Thunder trim. Can't have that painted. Bar. That's the first time I'm using the tuning DLC for this truck, and I'm a bit excited actually. Hello everyone joining in. William, hello. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for that. Very cool. And thanks, welcome to the stream. Yellow Dude asks, I heard you left the TCU server. Will you still play the mod though? I don't know, honestly. Can't tell right now. Maybe if I feel like it at one point, but definitely not in the foreseeable future. Not sure how long it will take until that releases. But yeah, not too sure about that, sorry to tell you that. But it is what it is. There are so many cool things to modify here. Checkers. Ah. Yeah, that doesn't work with this paint job, does it? And I think yeah, let's go with this massive bull bar. That looks mean. Incredible. Deflectors. Yes, more deflectors. I see. Good to know, definitely. I don't think we need fender indicators. At least not a side one, of course. We can't have any RAM air intakes up here for some reason. That's a bit of an oversight on SDS's end. That would have been cool. Oh, we can change the trims. Huh. What else do we have here? Yeah, strobe. Center. Left. Left. Right. Right. I think that is the wrong way around. That's better. Can have another row of lights. That's pretty neat. But let's just go with normal ones. Wait, what did we have here? Strobe room. That's lumen. Yeah, let's go with those. Lumen, but normal ones, not strobes. Neat. I think I will change this back to Chrome 1. Chrome grill. That looks too massive. Meshed grill? Yeah, let's go with the standard grill here, actually. Yep, retro badge. This is the anniversary edition after all. Let's go with in the frame. Yeah. Side mirrors are always nice. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have camera mirrors. Yeah, Yellow Dude says, nice and chill music. Yeah, that's a good selection of music, as he did. Pretty cool that Stop Killing Games passed 1 million signatures on the EU petition, and the ECI passed 1 million, is way over that right now. I think they are pretty safe now, even if some turn out to be invalid. Some signatures, which I don't hope, of course, but you never know. Let's just go with the normal chrome trim here. Well, do we really need those? I've just noticed there are not proper light bars here, unfortunately. Not here. Oh, well, if we can have that. I even have these strobe things. But I suppose because they look nicer and much sleeker than these stuck-on things. Yeah. Right. Spending a lot of time customizing this truck here. But that's one of the cool things about this game. It doesn't have damage model, but having lorries that are licensed and actually that far customizable is really nice. Does Maximus mean? Oh, so it's all the way through without lights. Let's go with the Maximus one. Very far down. Chrome basic, Chrome 2, oh, thread plates. I don't like thread plates. Let's just go with, yeah, with the normal one. And the box behind there. Let's do everything. Chrome here. Logging rack. Oh, that's neat. Extra safety or cabinets. Yellow Dude says, can't believe the new Ubisoft EULA tells us to destroy our copies of games. Actually, that's pretty... I don't like it either, but that's actually a very common practice. Roof deflector? Nah, roof deflector wouldn't fit an anniversary edition. But yeah, that's actually a pretty common practice in the industry. For example, the what's it called? GOG. Yes, GOG. EULA of GOG is very similar in that regard. They basically tell you if they revoke your license for whatever reason, you have to destroy your copies. This is absolutely common. This is unfortunately very common practice. I don't like it either, but that's how they do this. I wish they wouldn't. Which of course SKG is all about that. Yeah, I think I've done enough customization here. In a previous stream I've said that I generally do not agree with getting rid of multifunctional steering wheels in favor of aftermarket ones. But since we are talking about a legacy thing here, I think I will make an exception. Or maybe not, this looks ugly with the modern steering wheel column. It doesn't fit well on a modern column. Yeah, maybe not. But let's say we will obviously look at this interior quite a lot. And at those ones. Yeah, now let's keep the classic ones in paint. We will be looking at the interior quite a lot, so we will be customizing that a little bit. Do we have here a bunch of stuff? Do we have a compass? That is not available on this interior for some reason. Big oof, not a lot of interior customization here. Kenworth model, I guess, that's nice. Cup holder. NSCS mug and Kenworth bottle. Carpets, very nice. Yeah. And an air freshener. That's all we can do here. Quite disappointing. A lot of ice mod stuff. Wait a minute. Ah, there, the excavator. Yeah. Let's get this plush excavator. A window up here. Very nice. Doesn't like windows. Kenworth duffel bag. Interesting. ATS pillow. You can customize quite a bit, just not the things I would. A hockey stick. Yeah, I think we are done customizing. And an electric cool box, of course. But this lorry has a fridge, so a warning triangle. Why not? Fire extinguisher there. That is non-existent for some reason. Fire extinguisher doesn't work on this lorry. Damn, and this is not a mod or anything, this is official. This is an official lorry. Hopefully SKG wins. Yeah, SKG, I think, well, of course, during the legislative process that will go forward from now on, lobby groups will also be asked for their opinions for the draft. So we will definitely see lobby groups like this video game Europe thing, which is very pro publisher and anti-consumer. They will definitely have an influence on the draft, which then will be presented to Parliament and then either accepted or rejected. Earmuffs. Who doesn't like earmuffs? Yeah, so inverter here. Having two warning triangles rarely makes sense. So that is the customization. While we've added a total of $14,000 on top. Confirm. I just realized that maybe for an extra classic look, let's go with the, I think this lorry, does it have Trilix rims? Yes, shiny Trilix rims. That's what I'm after. Yeah, nice. These are special rims which can be, which are 3-part rims that can be maintained basically by a single person. A single person can take these rims apart and refit wheels on it, which made them quite popular during the 70s and 80s primarily, when there wasn't quite a big of a service network yet. But downside of those, they are quite dangerous. As you can imagine, taking a pressurized wheel apart and repressurizing it all on your own can be fairly dangerous. So anyway, And I realized another thing: white mud flaps on the rear end. I don't know why people put white mud flaps on their cars and lorries. They get dirty and ugly, and you can see a lot of dirt on there. Let's just put standard 2. The logo black and white. Or just clear ones. Yeah, let's just go with clear ones here. Do they even have a texture? Let me tell you something, SCS is really in some aspects SCS does brilliant work, but then on other aspects they sometimes mess up a bit. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's get back to... Ooh, that's ugly. No. Oh, that's nice. That's much better. Let's see what double ones we have. Rim double. Rib double. We're going with those then. Alright, confirm. And purchase. Yes, I want to drive this new truck, of course. And we're gonna send this one to St. Louis. And head out with our new truck. Video Games Europe is definitely scared. Yes, they are, absolutely. And they will, I'm pretty sure they will, this won't be their last word on this one. Apart from, obviously taking more influence on the legislative process, they will also lobby hard directly in Parliament and probably launch a couple anti-SKG campaigns. Wouldn't be too surprised. It won't be. I don't think it won't be as crazy as anti-consumer campaigns in the US, which are batshit insane. Let's be honest. But these campaigns will definitely try taking influence on public opinion about SKG, trying to convince that the anti-consumer way is actually the consumer way, which is crazy. Yeah, quite a break in topic, right? The tilt and turn windows we have in Europe are pretty cool. Yes, they are. Most of them are also double paned. And in more modern homes even, and when homes get renovated, houses, they are often triple layer even. So they are also not only are they pretty neat that you can tilt and turn them, but they are also very good at insulating sound and obviously heat and cold. So anyway, external contracts, our first contract today. Wow, I spent half an hour configuring this truck. That's a bit too short. I could go to Mason City, which is exactly 100 miles. Waterloo, I went there. Tumwa. I'm not sure. Not too sure. Let's go to Mason City. Let's risk this. If this is just under 100 miles, it won't count, but it is assigned as a trip distance of 100 miles, so let's see if this works. If it doesn't, well then, whatever. Begin this delivery. Yeah, anyway, tilt and turn windows. Yeah, they are neat. Almost all houses have them. Older houses often have just normal turn windows, twice of them usually. Like historic buildings often have two 2 windows as a means of basically it's low-tech 2-layer windows if you really wanted to. So many older houses have 2 windows which are both turn windows. So again, an early form of the now more compact dual layer and triple layer windows we have now. Obviously, back then they didn't have the necessary technology to evacuate and make a vacuum in windows. But even back then they came up with designs to insulate buildings properly. Because it just saves money. I legit thought Glickenhaus cars are German until I googled them and find out they were American. I've never heard of Glickenhaus cars. But yeah, plenty of German immigrants, descendant of German immigrants in the US, so plenty of people in the US have German names. Plenty of places in the US even have German names. And of course companies do have German names every now and then. One of the cities in the Iowa DLC here in ATS is called Bettendorf, which literally translates to Bad Village, which is quite interesting, quite surprising when playing this. Yeah, they have a lot of obscure stuff, which is very interesting. It is probably one of the only games, of course alternatives are available, but it is probably the only game that is currently on the market which has such a wide variety of concept and low production vehicles. But unfortunately it's just this game. I wish more racing games these days would have concept cars and even historic concept cars. Yeah, like Asphalt does have many historic concept cars. Don't get that a lot. But then again, concept cars these days are not what they used to be. Yeah, has been a while since I've seen an actual interesting concept car that wasn't a pre-production vehicle. Massive bonnet. I wonder where Scania is going, because they are really drumming the marketing drums for their cabovers. Obviously, Scania is a subsidiary of Tratron or something like that, which is part of the VW corporation, corporate construct, basically, like MAN and International as well. And they are really touring a lot of they are doing a lot of marketing for their Scania trucks in the US for some reason. So maybe they will actually start selling Scanias in the US eventually, so cabovers, European cabovers. And we might get cabovers in ATS then, if that happens. That would be pretty cool. You heard the news regarding the Forza franchise? No, I didn't. I'm completely out of the loop in that regard. I like that engine sound actually, rumbling. Yeah, can I park here? Yes. Of course, we will sleep through the entire day, don't we? Yeah, it's almost sunset now. Yeah, but what are the news on Forza? This lovely H cluster. Don't see that a lot today anymore, new lorries. Cars as well. One of the people I've talked to lives in this area says he can see absolutely recognize parts of Iowa where he regularly goes, which is great. It's one of the great things of ATS and ETS2. I noticed that in ETS2 as well. But he also said many of the interchanges and intersections in Iowa are very outdated and dangerous designs, and I can absolutely see that, like the Cloverleaf interchange we've seen back there, that was an outdated design. Way too narrow, way too tight turns, and way too short changing lanes. I heard Forza Motorsport might get discontinued. Well, you know, Microsoft is moving to basically turn Xbox into a gaming brand based on PCs instead of being home consoled, and the PC market is simply saturated with racing sim games. Like we have iRacing, of course, Automobilista, and lots of other race simmers. So you can totally see why they say it's not worth it. Also, I think one of the reasons why Sony is so reluctant to get Gran Turismo on PC, because the market on PC is simply saturated. Yeah. I wouldn't trust those news entirely, but I can see why Microsoft would do that. And of course, alternatives are available. With what's happening with Turn 10 and Playground games, we might continue to get Forza Horizon games. We'll wait a bit. But no Forza Motorsport games, yeah. Actually, I've never played Forza Motorsport. The only racing sim-ish game I've played on Xbox was Project Gotham Racing, and I honestly never really cared about Forza Motorsport. But yeah, Forza Horizon seems to be much more active, and there's really nothing keeping Turn 10 and Playground games to integrate Forza Motorsport stuff into Forza Horizon, if they really wanted to. I mean, they have such a great engine, racing game engine, and they seems like they are not doing anything they could with it. For example, but anyway, Forza Horizon 5, for example, has a pretty mid, but it does have a racing circuit, and of course, even Forza Horizon 4 had a racing circuit in the Danish interlocking bricks map. So, yeah. I wouldn't rule out entirely that they completely abandon sim racing, but I could see them Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport. Oopala. Need to focus on driving a bit more. But I could see them integrated into one another to some extent. What is that? A tiny little train. Huh. A little shunting locomotive. Interesting. How interesting. I still can't believe Forza is still using texture swaps for the rims when accelerating, when games like TDU2 didn't have that issue. Actually, that is pretty good. If done correctly, that is helping an awful lot in optimization. And I hope they retain that. If it's done correctly, it doesn't really make a difference, and I think it even looks better than actual physical wheels going at speed. Because the thing is, if you add physical blur to this, it will cost a lot of processing power, and with physical blur, every time there is a little frame rate discrepancy, like a couple of frame drops, you might see the wheels stopping for a minute. I've played a bit of San Andreas, and the PC version of San Andreas doesn't have these blurred textures for the rotors in planes by default, which means you will see weird flickering rotors every time, and it doesn't look great. So these blur textures are actually a good thing. It's an old technique, but it's working. So why should we remove it for physical blur, something like that, which will at the end might even have worse results at a much higher performance cost. Options are always great. That's true. I agree with that. But thing is, most games don't have an awful lot of options, don't leave with decent options, especially nowadays. It's like games pretty much require you to use DLSS and ray tracing for them to look decent these days, and that's really a shame. I wish it would be different. Options are always great, and having different rendering pipelines available for various things. But at the end, devs need to rationalize, and the more features you get, the more bugs you also get, and of course they need to rationalize that away, else they wouldn't be finished developing in any kind of games would be even at any time, or games would be even more of a bug fest than they are now anyway. So yeah, options are nice, but also got to keep in mind that every option adds development costs. That's just the reality of it. Heard the news about TDUFC Casino? No, I'm absolutely out of the TDUFC game. I Like after the launch, after this botched launch, I lost any interest in it. I never looked back. I already lost a bit of interest when the announcement was we will only implement Hong Kong Island proper and not the entirety of Hong Kong. And that TDUSC casino won't likely be in Macau. This was but if TDUSC casino would be set in Macau, that would be pretty nice, as it would be just a, well, lost opportunity. And expanding the rather small little. But what are the news on TDUSC casino anyway? External contracts, I don't think we will get anything decent here. Mason City, Waterloo, we already were in Waterloo. Des Moines, we are coming from there. Dodge City. Yeah, let's go to Dodge City. Oh wait, should we? We need to go to Dubuque, Burlington, Ottumwa and Council Bluffs. I really want to travel to Iowa City to see if, first let's see, the garage manager, rather, garage purchase, yeah, let's purchase this garage in Iowa City, Mason City. Why didn't I done this before? Like, what? Completely missed out on that one. The city can also purchase a garage there. Should have done this in the first place. We could have jumped between garages. Well, that's a new one. You can convert cash to casino chips, but not the other way around. And that's incredibly stupid, in my opinion. And let me guess. You can buy cash with real money, but you cannot buy casino chips with real money. Or what? Don't tell me it's this way. So, but it's, or is it really intended as a premium currency? I'm so out of the loop with TDUSC. I'm not sure how they're doing it. In TDU2 you could freely convert casino chips to credits and back and forth. So that was possible. Company garage manager. Travel to Iowa City and see what jobs we can get there. I would absolutely prefer one in the eastern area of Iowa. Davenport already went there. Burlington. Kenworth trucks from Cedar Rapids to Burlington. I want to go from Iowa City to Burlington. Head to Des Moines, City. Iowa City. 63 kilometers, that's a tough spot. Very decent. Truck again from Cedar Rapids. Iowa first city to Council Bluffs. Power pack. That would be an interesting transport, such a long trailer. Should we go? There's no news about buying in-game cash with real cash. Yeah, but come on. It's 2025, and TDUSC is a live service game. Iowa City to Fort Dodge. Well, best we can do is that one, I guess. We're gonna do that one. Begin delivering. Lovely. Compactor. Yeah. Well. That could be, yeah, that could be. Could indeed be a reason for it. So, TDU2. I mean, TDU2 is over 10 years old, almost 15 years, I think. It's quite old, and laws have caught up with them. But in TDU2, I think you could only buy the premium currency, which was used to buy DLCs. You couldn't buy cash or casino money directly. If I remember correctly. Oh, diverging diamond interchange. That's cool. That is such a lovely design. I love it, but it's not very pedestrian friendly actually. I mean, if I decide to play it, I will definitely stream about it, but or maybe not. I'm not sure. The thing is, I'm not with Ubisoft's new EULA. I think it directly targets projects like TCU, and now we have this turbo interchange. Wow! I've recently talked about outdated designs, interchange designs. But these ones are super up to date, like the Virgin Diamonds and these turbo interchanges. Very interesting. Anyway, I think the EULA change with Ubisoft is specifically targeted at projects like TCU, because they've revoked pretty much all licenses for TCU. If we were to play this game now, they could say, yeah, well, send basically even court order us to destroy our copies. If we have them still. If we had them still. Well. So I think there's that to the EULA change. So if anyone would stream TCU, they could send them a not so kind letter from their lawyers and order them to destroy everything and anything and all of it. And even snoop around there and maybe even get a court order to allow them to snoop around their electronic devices and shit like that. So absolutely authoritarian and despotic shit. But that's the type of company we are dealing with. I can remember that. I have this message as well. The only message was, seek out new adventures in our shop, basically. So, buy our other games you don't want to play. Like, that was the biggest slap in the face. They could have chosen this wording. We revoke your license to this game you have legally purchased, and then we will tell you to buy our other games, like, in the weirdest way possible. Like, do they really think we are this stupid? You just killed one of our favorite games, and you expect us to buy new ones? Just to have the same thing happen again? I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right? Yeah. They added a Steam achievement to Watch Dogs 2, yet they still couldn't be bothered to fix the damn leaderboard. Yeah, that was one of their initiatives, basically, adding Steam achievements to all games that are on Steam, even older ones that are not sold, at least, some of them. As a thank you to players, kind of thing. Yeah. Not gonna lie, Steam achievements are nice. Fixing actual game mechanics is better. I've never played Watch Dogs 2 as well, but I don't feel like playing most Ubisoft titles on this channel anyway. Like, this company disappointed me so much. I'm not feeling like promoting their games. Which is why I prefer to play games like SCS's Truck Simulators, because, in my opinion, they are an absolutely awesome company that has amazing support from their community and gives amazing support back to their community. And also constantly updates and fixes their game, even on an engine level, although some decisions are definitely controversial. They keep supporting their games, and they even gonna add to Euro Truck Simulator, they're gonna add a Euro Coach Simulator as a DLC instead of a separate game, which is phenomenal. Most companies would have chosen to make a separate game instead, which I hate, when the game is effectively the same. But some companies do that. And for ATS, again, they could have made a separate game, but the road trip will be a DLC where you drive cars, and they will completely overhaul the physics engine for those DLCs. And hopefully we will see road trip in ETS 2 and the coach simulator in ATS. Once it's successful. It won't be too difficult to port. Those are practically the same games. That's the only instance where I'm like, couldn't you make a World Truck Simulator instead of two separate games? But I get why they did that, because of licensing. I really prefer to play games of quote-unquote good companies that have decent community management and actually care about their games, obviously. Nothing is perfect, but at some point companies are just evil, plain evil, and working against their own customers. and they're gonna cry about nobody buying their product anymore. And guess what? If you treat your customers like cattle, they ain't gonna buy stuff anymore. Anyway, enough ranting. Let's focus on the good side of life. Like not having to pull into a wait station and finally having fixed the beeping. I've had a mod installed that was muting the beeps, which are incredibly annoying. But that wasn't working anymore due to an update. And found another one that did the same. Unfortunately, also adjusts the probability of getting requested to pull into a way station. But at the end of the day, we don't have annoying beeps anymore, and that's what's important. Heading towards Minneapolis right now. Obviously still on our way to Fort Dodge. It's a world map. We are currently in right off Des Moines. Yeah. We're halfway there. Lovely. Kind of cool that Larian trusted games by not adding DRM to Baldur's Gate. There are quite a bunch of developers that don't add DRM to their games, except maybe, especially when they sell on GOG. Of course, GOG has, or rather had, a strict no DRM policy. They softened that a bit by allowing DRM measures for online games and mandating their launcher for online games. But yeah, so they are not the only ones who don't add DRM to their games or heavy-handed DRM. Actually, many games on Steam either only have the Steamworks DRM, which is not that heavy, or actually there are plenty of games on Steam even that don't have any DRM at all. You just need to download them through Steam and don't have a convenient offline installer like with GOG. But yeah, hello Killy, was busy. Hello Xenia, welcome to the stream. Well, thanks for tuning in. Great you are here. Hope you are doing well. And yeah, we are currently in a Kenworth W900 100th anniversary edition on our way from Iowa City to Fort Dodge. Almost there, delivering this roller. And then we will continue to some other place, wherever the wind may take us. Quite incredible how many DLCs are coming up for ATS. Absolutely looking forward to playing all of those. Currently driving at night here, not seeing a lot of the countryside, which is mostly flat and plains, but green. Iowa, at least how it is represented in this DRC, really reminds me of my own home state here in Germany. I can't see an awful lot here. Fort Dodge, 1 mile. Looks like there's an accident. What's that? Did we hit something? It's just being weird. Yeah, I wish I would drive during daytime. One definitely will be next delivery, which I think we will take a job from this council city. Wow, the names in Iowa are really difficult to remember. Council Bluffs. The city names in Iowa are really difficult to remember, and I know absolutely nothing about this state. Stop, and always stop. Honest road. Adventurous. Not having a traffic light or roundabout on such a road is almost negligent. Wow. I can see what someone on Discord I met meant by antiquated and dangerous road design. Going to head into this quarry. Sure. Let's try and park this trailer the proper way. Maybe not from cockpit view. I became very bad at this type of parking in cockpit view. I suppose because I'm out of training. Can't go here. Can't go here? Doesn't seem like it now. Oh, damn it. Back there. It's night, and there are no backup cameras or anything. Yeah, nah. I'm gonna use the third-person view. Look, I even suck at parking the third-person view. And this lorry being massive doesn't help. Oh. Damn. I'm so bad at this. Oof. Yeah. Unfortunately, or fortunately, this game doesn't have a visual damage model. You mean like I've never played Shift 2. Yet another game I haven't played. You know what? I'm about to give up. Last attempt. Final attempt. Doing this. I suppose it's a very dynamic first-person view. Yeah, it could use that. Now finally. Whose idea was this? All these containers, small water tanks in the way. I definitely need to do the driving academy one day and learn how to drive a virtual lorry. Yes, we finally reached level 49 and are well on our way to level 50 to become a legend. We will fast travel. Yes, we will fast travel, or maybe we will not fast travel, and see what kind of external contracts we have here. Dodge. Maybe something interesting. We're going to Nebraska. Burlington is all the way on the other side of the state. Maybe something to Dubuque. That doesn't seem like it. So we're gonna fast travel to our garage in Council Bluffs. The Texas DLC. Haven't been there in a while as well. And of course, first we want to take a nap. Waiting for the day. It's noon. Heading out to the contract we're gonna select. Gonna need a contract from Council Bluffs to somewhere in Iowa that is not already discovered. Already been to Waterloo. Burlington gonna be quite a ride. I'd have been there, and that's quite a terrible trailer to haul actually on such a distance. Dubuque. A triple trailer. Huh. Articulated hauler or potatoes? What do you think, people in the chat? Should we take potatoes or a big lorry? Let's bring up the chat again. Well, I suppose the delay is quite insane. The street, unfortunately. Oh no. I accidentally changed that. Damn. That question is no longer relevant, unfortunately. I messed up. Sausage fingers. Sausage fingers. So, guess we're gonna transport soybeans from Council Bluffs to Dubuque. That's probably the most Midwest American thing to transport. Soybeans. What's happening? Wow, have you seen that? Well, I was already moving, this is why it looked That's a plus. Soybeans to Dubuque. Then we just need to Iowa pretty much covered, as well as the west. So only the southeast of Iowa still missing a couple cities. Well, lovely, my neighbor is making noises again. Now that I'm just not saying anything. Whoa, I thought this lorry had an ABS. Look at that skyline. Very cool. This is not a big city. Too big. Very interesting how cities of just 100,000 inhabitants in the US have quite massive skylines with skyscrapers. 100,000, 200,000. In Europe, cities of that size rarely have skyscrapers. And if they do, maybe one or two, but not an entire skyline. I really do wonder why US cities have this. Like, is everyone working there? Or are those residential buildings? Not sure. It's quite interesting, and this view is actually very scenic. Let's jump into the photo mode for a minute. That looks pretty cool. Let's take a photo real quick. That looks sick. Maybe not this screenshot, but the view in general. This is a very rural region, right? And then you have this big skyline back there. Trailer. Just need to turn around now. I will finish this one in cockpit view. I say I'll finish this. I'm not saying I'm good at it. Cockpit view is probably best. VR. Fortunately, I can't wear missing the trailer completely. Fortunately, I can't wear VR glasses. Headsets rather. Again, absolute fail. Well, I'm terrible. Yes. Hopefully this one will work. Doesn't work. I'm a bit afraid to hit this yellow pipe there. Definitely need to come much closer to it. That was insanely close. Work now? Yes, now it works. Just almost clipping my mirror. Great. But done. And rolling soybeans from Council Bluffs to Butte. Look at this triple trailer. Would have been interesting. That increase crap. That increase trailer length to as long as you want, even with 53-foot trailers like can have 53 foot. You can have 10 53-foot trailers, basically more than road train territory. But I'm not sure if those work in World of Trucks. I don't think so. With external contracts. Using mods with external contracts is unfortunately... Besides... Oh, for fuck's sake, that was not good. Let's see. I'm transporting soybeans. This little accident shouldn't have done any damage, right? It didn't, thankfully. Just 1% to the trailer, but nothing to the load. If soybeans would get damaged by this, this would be a bit weird. Before, went around it, and yeah, it seems like this is not a dynamic event, but this is a fixed map object, this roadblock, hindering you from entering the what's this road? World map, let's see, I-29 going north, yeah, and for some reason there's a roadblock there. You can just go around it, and it works still. Not sure why they placed that there. It's a bit odd. Photograph into photo mode, and what this is about, the Odyssey Bridge. Damn, if only those street lamps wouldn't be there. Interesting work of art. symbols mean in the YouTube comments. Like the crown with a 1, crown with a number 2. Never seen that before. Must be a new feature. I'll check that out after the stream. Yeah. 300 miles. That's quite a distance. Let's enjoy the landscape a bit. Yeah, this awful lot. Western Pennsylvania. Looks very much like it. Except for the weird water tower in the distance. Is that a 2D texture? Oh no, that's not a water tower, that's a windmill. Right. Yeah, we don't have those. Only these wind turbines. Oof, that was a close call. Should have focused on the road a bit more. Almost crashed there. Or looking too much into the landscape. Is already on the direction signs. The direction reports, or however you want to call them. Equalizer in German. But obviously can't travel there right now. Again, it's not that big of a city compared to others, but still, lots of skyscrapers. And it's so fascinating. Like having 6-lane dual carriageways and this cut-out style of it, and the skyscrapers. There's a cathedral over there. It's just fascinating. It's a rural place and it has skyscrapers and big city infrastructure. But I suppose public transit must be atrocious in such a region. I mean, it's also atrocious where I live. There are only 2 cities in my state that even have a tram. The buses just drive maybe every hour or two when they are good, when they are well serviced, when the lines are well serviced. But in some areas you can be happy if the bus goes for twice a day. If you have a bus at all, it's practically unusable here. Especially if you're on a schedule or something. Don't even get me started on long distance railway service in Germany. It became so bad over the past couple of years. It's insane. They are right now talking about somehow subsidizing plane tickets, which doesn't make any sense, especially since railways are much more strategically. But let's not get into politics too much, because it's just getting me angry. I would love to go without a car, let's be real. Save me so much costs, or at least, let's say, not make everywhere I need to go by car, at least outside of my Schützville. So for my Schützville I can walk, I can go by bicycle, no problem, but there's a traffic jam up ahead. But if I want to go anywhere outside of it, I just need to take a car. I hate that. Buses and trains would work. You could use that. And regularly and reliably. But that's just not the case. See, people always say Europe has amazing public transit. Between big cities it's amazing, if it doesn't have any delays. But just live a little bit outside a big city. Faster and more comfortable just going by car or by plane, unfortunately, if it's a longer distance. Wherever you go, it's very unfortunate. It's a lot of money. And time you could just spend enjoying the landscape. Or do something else. Not plane, not plane, train. Cheap either. You need to, in Germany, if you want to have a train ticket for cheap, either need to have a monthly subscription and then of course use the train regularly, which again, if you live in a rural place, is unlikely. Or you have to book way ahead to get decent prices. Like they do the same thing as plane companies with the trains, long distance trains at least, and it's insane. Prices are out of this world. They demand when you need to go somewhere rather ad hoc. Book months in advance, and the tickets will be reasonably priced. Use a train like you should be able to use a train whenever you need it without much pre-planning. And the tickets prices go crazy. And it's not like they have great last-minute offers. And so in the end of the day, trains oftentimes are empty. They rather drive empty than selling tickets at reasonable prices for long-distance trains. Which is just crazy. That a couple of times now where just going by car is a little bit cheaper but faster. But well, we are trucking here nowadays. This time on the road going by train. Although one of the founders of SCS once mentioned they would like to have an everything game, like including trains and stuff like that. So you could have a transport game, like a driving game that also includes trains and ships and planes and stuff, which would be rad. And at least to some extent, SCS has implemented trains, at least to a very rudimentary extent. They even react to traffic. But first we're gonna get cars and buses. All steps. Well, 90 miles to go. Almost there. It's almost a straight line, which is also very incredible. Even in my state where it's relatively flat and very similar to Iowa as represented in this game, the autobahns are still curvy. So they have little curves and bends all across, which is in part due to settlements just being in the way. Obviously can't bulldoze a village or a motorway, except when you're in that novel, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, it is possible, but anyway. Yeah, I can't bulldoze a village or a motorway. So there's that one, and then there are obviously also fields that are difficult to expropriate, even if you pay proper compensation. They just build around it, and it's a bit curvy due to that. But on the other hand, that's how it's intended to be designed anyway. That you don't have a straight line and get fatigued by driving in a straight line, or enticed to drive super fast, but instead have curves and bends that make you slow down a little and make driving more variant in a sort, not always a straight line. It's intentional to increase road safety, actually. Putting road safety over speed and travel distance and travel time. It makes sense when you think about it. Said, we also have normal roads that are almost a straight line that also exist here. The original route of the A20 was actually supposed to be much straighter, but the A20 was planned originally planned in back in GDR times. Many revisions and delays later, it was finally finished, and very bendy, but it's a good motorway, good autobahn, many unlimited sections. Funny how we are driving here through Iowa and I'm talking about German motorways. Dubuque discovered there's a large bridge. Iron Bridge. Also leading into Iowa, into Illinois, I suppose, not Iowa. We are in Iowa. Into Illinois or Wisconsin? What's that state called over here? Wonder where SCS will be going when they are done with the US. Canada or Mexico. Maybe we will finally see some ice roads again. Last time SCS did ice roads was in Extreme Truckers 2, which was an 18 wheels of steel. 18 wheels of steel game. Bloody hell. Yeah, and performance is dropping for no reason again. Damn. It's not as bad as in some previous DLCs, but still there are some areas that are not well optimized, obviously. Ooh, that's screen tearing. We are delivering it to these soybeans to a company called Rockport. That's a large area. Yeah, it's always these Rockport facilities that cause these massive issues. Was the same issue back in Sioux Fall? If I remember correctly, was the same issue there. It was the Rockport facility. It's a short trailer. Let's try for one more time to park this trailer properly. Already failed at finding the way. I need to park it over here. Can I get past this inspection? Seems like it. Yeah, okay, over there. Would be easy enough, right? We got enough room to maneuver. Or we don't because there's an invisible wall. Thanks, SCS. I think this is poorly designed. I mean, come on. You just place an invisible wall over there and don't let me park all the way. And don't let me maneuver in there. Look at this. Invisible wall. Damn it, STS. Now I keep praising them, but then, because they do genuinely good work, but then they do these mistakes. Not a good spot to turn around. I see this trailer probably, these goods probably getting damaged on the final meters. We've turned around and let's do this section in the cockpit view. Yeah, I don't think I'm going anywhere Am I? Yeah. I need to go to driving school. To virtual truck driving school, that is. Damn. I used to be doing decently well in third person view at least. And now I can't even do that anymore. Skill issue. Big skill issue. Yeah. Like an absolute noob. Amazing. That was quite a ride. Over 400 miles, wow. Anyway. The stream is already going on for almost 2 hours once again, and I'm getting tired, obviously. Wow. And my driving skills are improving. So anyway, thanks for joining, and taking your time. Stay tuned. Stay safe. Stay fly. Bye.